Hi, everyone. Thank you for joining today's session on Dashlane Business. We're going to be running through exactly what it means to be a part of a Dashlane business plan and how the Dashlane application can work for you to remember your passwords and help you automate sign-in process, sign-up process, and many other things online. First things first, I want to run through a couple of details about Dashlane that I think are prudent to understanding it before we get started. Dashlane requires that you create a master password to get into the application. This password is never stored anywhere on our servers. It's not stored in any hash or derivative. We do not know what your master password is, and we have a US patent on that security architecture. Essentially means that only you can access your accounts, and without your master password, it is impossible for any Dashlane employee or hacker to open your account and to see what your other passwords are. It's also important to note that your Dashlane business account syncs between an unlimited number of devices. So if you have a smartphone and a work computer and a home computer, all of those passwords will be synced seamlessly and securely with your master password as the key to unlock that data. It's also important, and we'll get through this a little bit. Each of your Dashlane accounts will have a what we call spaces, and spaces essentially allows you to separate your personal life and your business life in terms of passwords. So you will always have access to your personal passwords that you put in Dashlane, even if you leave your company. And we'll also run through exactly what admins can see and what they can't see. By default, admins don't have access to see any of your passwords. They don't know what accounts you have. And if you leave your company, as I said, you still leave with all your personal passwords. You can still log in. We do have free and premium accounts that you can pay for. Or that are free. So I'm going to pop into the Dashlane application now. As you can see, we're at the login screen. This is where you enter in your master password. Now, obviously, today we're going to be running through a demo account. Any new users will obviously log in, and they won't have all of this information in their account, but we'll run through exactly how to get your passwords into your Dashlane account seamlessly. So we'll go ahead and log in here. So what's happening is Dashlane is decrypting all of the data with that master password that I entered, and you can see that we're brought immediately into the password section of this application. Now, if you can see on the left, we have a navigation pane. We're going to run through all of those tabs on the left. And first thing is the password section. So as you can see here now, we're sorted by this tile view. If you want, you can toggle and you can see your passwords in this view as well. You can also sort them by name. If you want to categorize your passwords, you can do that too. We're going to pop in here and look at this Amazon credential. And if you see here, when you pop this open, you get this nice drawer effect that comes in. And this is where you can see all of your passwords that you have saved in Dashlane. Now you can see that this obviously includes that email. If there's a login instead of an email or a secondary login, we have the ability to see those as well. You can see the password here that's currently hidden. You can always see what that password is. So this is obviously a terrible password. We're going to show you how to update that password with Dashlane in a few minutes. You can see that the website associated with it. You can see that this has a shopping category, and you can also see that this belongs into the CRISPRworks Inc. space. So this business for this demo account is called CRISPRworks. So you will see the CRISPRworks space name reflect as such. If you click on here, you can see that you also have access to your personal space. There are some settings that admins can implement in the admin console that forces certain passwords to be in your business space versus your personal space. Admins have a vested interest in making sure that your business credentials are stored in your business space because they can monitor certain attributes about those passwords We'll get into exactly what admins can see and what they can't see in a little bit, but just keep in mind we do have the Spaces feature, which allows you to separate your personal and work life. And that, as I mentioned earlier, if you leave your company, all of your passwords that are stored in your personal space are still accessible to you. If you click down here into the password history, you can see all of the passwords that this has been before. You get a full list and status and date when those were changed. You can also see up here that this password is a weak password, and if you remember, it's because it is a terrible password. We're going to show you exactly how to update that in a bit. And so right now, we're currently looking at all the passwords that are stored in the Dashlane account. If you click up here, you can see that you have access to the personal and the business space here. So if you click into the business space, you can see that Amazon credential that we looked at with the terrible password is stored in the business space. And if you pop over into the security dashboard, you get a better understanding of your password security health. So right here, you can see that this account has about a 78% score. That's not too shabby. When you start with your account, you'll probably have something like a 20% score. And that's because most people are reusing passwords over and over again, the same password, or they're using weak passwords. And that's not necessarily anyone's fault. Passwords are extremely hard for us to remember. The human brain isn't meant to remember random strings of characters. Fortunately, we have technology to help with that these days. So if we click down here into the detailed password analysis, you can see here that within the CRISPR workspace, we have 61 passwords that are saved. 5 of those are weak, 10 of those are reused, have some old passwords, and you have some compromised passwords. Now, this top row is exactly what admins see when they log into their admin console, which is where they set policies for your team, add people onto your plan, or remove them. They can also see these details about your account. Now, it's important to note that admins can only see details on your business space passwords. They can't see anything related to the personal passwords. Now, some of you might be wondering, what does a compromised password mean? Well, about a year ago, Dropbox was compromised. They released information about it, and Dashlane sent a push a notification to all of our users. And if users had a Dropbox account, then we showed them this as a pop-up. Now, Dashlane, similar to your admin, does not know what accounts you have in your Dashlane account. We don't want to know. We've built our security architecture so it's impossible for us to know without your master password. And again, we don't know what your master password is, and we don't save your master password anywhere. Now, to get your passwords into your Dashlane account, you can simply go up to File and Import Passwords, and we can import them from Chrome, Firefox, IE, or if you're using another password manager, we can do that too. Dashlane also has a browser extension that can help create these accounts for you if you're creating a new account, or if you're signing into an account that you already have created. Dashlane can recognize that and can save that password into your account. Popping back down into the security score, you can see here we're back in this detailed analysis. We just wanted to show you quickly that you also have that analysis for your personal space as well. So you have an 82% score. So when you log in for the first time, you're probably going to have an empty account. Dashlane's onboarding process does help with importing those passwords. It does try to get you to navigate and to import passwords in there. Be aware that if you have any passwords that are saved in Chrome that are duplicates, Dashlane does import all of those passwords. So you might have some duplicates after an import. You'll just need to go through there and delete the ones that aren't the correct password. Now, some of you may need to share passwords. So let's go ahead and we'll search for that Amazon credential. And let's say you need to share this password with someone, you can simply click the share button, and then you can type in a person you want to share it with. So we are going to share this password today with David, and we have the ability to share that with limited rights or with full rights. Limited rights gives the user the ability to log into that site, but not the ability to change or edit that password or revoke access to other people. If you give a user full rights, it essentially eliminates the idea of a password owner. That user who has full rights can edit the password, they can view the password in Dashlane, and they can share that password if they choose. So we're going to go ahead and give Dave full rights here. Click on send, and great, that was sent. So how do we see if Dave has accepted it? Well, if you open up the credential again, you can click on the shared access tab, and you can see here that this has been sent to a variety of people, and Dave is still here pending. So once he accepts this invitation, it will change to full rights, and he'll have the ability to view and access that password. Now, if I update the password on my side, it updates for Dave and vice versa. So there's no need to let someone know when you changed a password. It will simply update for them. That's how that works. Now, if you want to get a better understanding of what all you've shared, you can pop down into our sharing center. And the first thing you'll notice here is that this this icon up here is a group. So if we open up the accounting group, you can see that we have an Amazon credential shared in here, and an Avira and a Basecamp. These passwords are all shared with the accounting group. And members of that group include these people. So anyone who has access to this group automatically has access to all of these passwords once they've accepted that share. And they're able to enter and to log into all of these accounts. The benefit here is that if you have someone who's new and new to your company and they need access to certain passwords, but maybe they don't know what those passwords are, they can simply join this group, and they'll have access to all of the passwords that they need to. And if you scroll down here, you can see all the passwords that you've shared with individuals. So if we want to look at Emma, you can see that we've shared that Amazon password with her, the Staples, and Twitter. So that's how the sharing works. Individuals can share as many passwords as they want with other Dashlane users. To get a group created, that currently has to be done in the admin console. So an admin will have to create those groups for you. I'm going to pop back up here into the Secure Notes tab. So Secure Notes is essentially that notepad that you have on your phone on steroids. It allows you to create a free text note, and you can type in whatever you want. You can share these notes with people. So if you want to share your office alarm code or something like that via Dashlane, that's something that you can do. And as you update these notes, they get automatically updated for other people. We also have a secure wallet feature. So in the wallet, we can store your personal information, which includes your name, birthday, email, phone numbers, addresses. The benefit here is that with the autofill, we can fill in all this information for you with our semantic engine, which is very, very accurate. When you're shopping online, having your addresses stored in Dashlane ensures that you always enter in the correct information. So it's a huge benefit there. I'll show you how that works in a minute. We also have the ability to store payments in here. Now, anytime you store a credit card in Dashlane, you want to see those details. It does require your master password. Go ahead and enter that in. You can see this fake credit card information here. And obviously, storing credit card information in Dashlane is completely optional. As you get used to Dashlane and its autofill capabilities, you may feel more comfortable entering your information here. Keep in mind that all of this information is personal. We at Dashlane employees cannot access any of this information, and only it can only be decrypted with your master password. We also have the ability to store IDs for you, and we can also capture receipts. So if you are a big cat food person, as you can see here, we can capture those receipts for you, and you can see exactly what you spent when. Finally, we have the ability to set an emergency contact. So here is where, if you have a loved one that you trust with your accounts in case of an emergency, you can proactively set that person as an emergency contact. You set a waiting period before they can access your account, or specific credentials that you assign proactively. And if an emergency occurs and that person needs access to your account or to those passwords, they can initiate this request, wait out that waiting period, and then they'll have access to view those passwords. And that concludes the demo portion of the application. There are a ton of settings. If you want more security, we have two-factor authentication that you can do. If you want your computer, if you want Dashlane to log you out after 15 minutes of inactivity, you can check all of those things in the Preferences tab, which I highly encourage you to do. Now I'm going to pop over into a real experience. We're going to go to Amazon, like we with that terrible password that we were using before. We've all seen this, so I'm going to go ahead and click on the sign in button. And here we go, and we will wait. And you see these Impala logos here means that Dashlane has data that it can fill in for these forms. Now, how does it know this information? Well, we have this extension up here which allows you to see a multitude of things, including all of your credentials, specific details about this website. If you don't want Dashlane to fill in login information and forms, you can disable Dashlane on a page or an entire website. And then we also have a password generator, which I'll get into in a minute. So we're going to go ahead and sign in here, and we're going to update this terrible password to be something a little bit better. And to do that, you do exactly how you normally would change a password. You find the account section, you look for the login and security section. What do you know? Password section. Click in here. We're going to wait for those Impalas to appear. So what happened right now is Dashlane was reading the page, getting an understanding of what is on this page. Go ahead and click on the current password, and Dashlane will give you the option to fill that in. And we can then click in the new password, and Dashlane will allow us to generate a strong password. We're going to head and click Save. And what's happening now is Amazon is updating that password for us. See, that's a success. And Dashlane pops up saying, do you want to replace this password? And we do. So we'll go ahead and click Replace. You get this notification down here that that is done. We'll go and look at this Amazon credential. We'll prove to you that it's no longer a terrible password. You can see that this is the password saved for this account now. Now, if we pop back up in here, you can make all types of changes to the password generator. If you want to avoid ambiguous characters, you can do that. If you want to set the length, that's what you can do here, and you can set these as a default down here if this is what you want your default to be. Sometimes when you get to a website and they have specific character limits or character restrictions, you may not have to go in here and toggle some of these things on and off. So it's good to know that exists. Finally, I'm going to pop in. I'm going to show you one more quick example of how Dashlane can autofill information. So if we pop down here, you can see this page has a lot of information that it's requesting. And if you click in here, you will get the that web card, and it can automatically fill all that information. Now you'll see here that this has the 5th Avenue address with 10010 as the zip code. Dashlane recognizes each of these fields and fills it in appropriately. If you want to change the address to the Broadway location, you can simply click on that, and you'll see that that changes the zip code as well. It's pretty cool. Finally, if you click into the card section, you see that you have all of those cards here visible in this tile view. And if you, let's say we want to use this Chase Bank, it's going to require that I enter in that master password one more time because it's been 5 minutes and relates to credit cards. And you can see that all that information was filled in here perfectly. And if we want to change that, let's say to this Chase account, you can simply do that and it will change out all of those details. And with that, I will end today's short demo. Thank you for listening. I hope that you found this useful. And if you have any other questions, we have a great help center. You can go to dashlane.com and navigate to that help center to get more information on how to get started. If we have a specific issue you're looking to understand, we have all of those articles there for you. Thanks again, and have a great day.